Hey everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a working ATM system. Now it's going to be the second version that I made, and I made a ton of improvements. Now what's great about this design actually requires no pistons, which is fantastic. And I've managed to make this a lot smaller. Now guys, we have about 5 different types of keys that I kind of set up for this particular ATM. As you can see, man, our first key is Bob, which which basically means you can pretty much name it anything you want. But like I said, guys, you can use any item you want as your key, which is great. Now we're going to put Bob in, and we're going to press that button. And that light's going to turn on, and the Minecart Chest is going to appear instantly. Fantastic. Now after you do that, guys, I highly suggest you getting your key card right out. It's like ATM, you put your card in, you take it right back out, and you go through your stuff. Now, of course, once you're done, you just hit that button, and it'll send the minecart directly back to its original spot. Now, we're going to put an iron ingot. Now, I've actually programmed the system to recognize that as part of the key system. Now, once again, once you hit that button, it's going to come right to you just like so, and voila, look at that. That's awesome. And the cool thing is, it's generally a silent system. I mean, the only time you really hear anything is when that light turns on and turns off, and of course the button. And even with this, it still works the same way. We just put an emerald, and you're going to see the chest is going to come right back to us. Amazing. Now the cool thing about this, guys, if someone tries to put anything that's not, well, that doesn't belong in the system, it's really going to just go through the system and right back out. Meaning nothing's going to get activated. Now like I was saying earlier, guys, the redstone behind this is simple, and I managed to compact this to an extreme amount. I mean, it's such a highly efficient system, and I took care of a lot of problems. Now I noticed in the comments from my previous system, you guys had a big issue as far as the minecarts going back and forth, and I mean, it was such a huge mess. So I'm going to explain to you the whole directional system as far as what I mean when I say this is very sensitive depending on what direction you're facing. Now, if you're facing in the north direction, guys, if you're facing the north direction, if you look in front of the ATM and you're facing north on your map, these repeaters and redstone dust need to be off, okay? I cannot stress that anymore because these rails all have to be naturally facing that direction. You see how they're all facing forward? Now, if you need to change it, all you have to do is place a button on the side there and hit the button. See that button right there, that block? Just place a button there or a lever and just activate it. It's literally that simple. Now, if you're facing in the east direction, if you're looking at it and you're looking at your map and you're facing east, make sure the redstone and the repeaters are on. And see, they all have to be on. And I already showed you the format and how to activate it to keep it on. Like I said, use a button or a lever. But this is very important, guys. Now, if you're facing south, okay, you're looking at it and you're looking at your map and you're facing south. I'm going to stress this out. I know I'm being a bit exaggerated, but make sure these redstone dust and repeaters are also on. I cannot stress this as much because if they're not on, it won't work properly. Now, if you're facing west, which is our final direction, the repeaters here are off. Okay, this side is off. So you're facing the north or west, keep it off. East or south, make sure it's on. So that's what I mean when I say it's on or off, okay? And so I hope that cleared everything up so you guys don't mess this up. Alright, so this is going to be the basic materials you're going to need. You will be needing a block of your choice, some half slabs. You will need droppers, hoppers, a few buttons, redstone lamps, minecart chests. You're also going to need rails, power rails, and rail detectors, redstone dust, redstone torch, repeaters, and comparators. Now we'll be putting a list in the description exactly of how much items you need of each. Now feel free to pause at this point and have this set up before you do this. This is going to be a setup for 5 different key cards. But of course, if you're going to add more, just add an extended 2 more blocks. Now, this will be the center part of this, okay? So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you see, guys, that blue dot, that blue carpet right there is the centerpiece, okay? So when you want to centerize this, keep that in mind. Now, from that point, you're going to add 4 half slabs, a block behind it, block right there with a half slab right underneath. Then you're going to delete that. Now, starting from there, about 1 block away from it, you're going to place a dropper facing inwards, okay? Now, we're going to place 5. But of course, add more if you want to make more, key cards. Now, from that point, guys, right on the side of it, you're going to place some droppers facing towards the front. See? And at this point, you're going to place some droppers facing inwards like so. Fantastic. Now you're going to place hoppers facing towards the first dropper that we placed. Now, once you've done that, you're going to place some comparators right there. And make sure you place 1 block in that first dropper that we placed, okay? And what that's going to do is going to activate the comparator. Now, what we're creating here is what we call T flip-flops, okay? Now, once you've done that, guys, you're going to place a block in front of the comparator. A block on, another block right on top of that. And a redstone torch on the first block that we placed, right there. Then you're going to place a block right on top of that. You should have that kind of format. Add some redstone dust on top of that block. Alright, now once you've done that, guys, I want you to go right over here and place a half slab right there. Then we're going to extend that right across and 1 more right there. And from that point, we're going to place a block, 2 blocks like so, and 1 more on top. Then you're going to place some half slabs right across, parallel to the droppers. And right there, guys, you're going to place redstone dust like so, leaving a space in between, okay? So you should have this kind of look. Now from this point, you're going to place a block right on top. Now bear in mind, the redstone dust is parallel with the comparators, and as far as straight line. Then 2 blocks like so, and 2 more right behind it. Then you're going to add some redstone dust right on top of those blocks with a redstone torch on the side of it. Fantastic. Now you're going to place a block there and a block on the side of it. Delete that. And we're going to place 2 more blocks and a block like so, creating this kind of pattern. Then we're going to place a half slab right underneath. And we're pretty much going to repeat this to each section. Sorry if I'm a little tongue-tied, guys. It's a little early in the morning. Now, of course, place your half slabs like so. We're going to create the same format. So place your blocks like that. Fantastic. Then you're going to place repeaters going forward like so. And 1 right there. Then you're going to place a block in front of the repeater. And a redstone torch in front of it. And a block right on top. And make sure you add that block right behind it. Now from this point, guys, add a comparator right there, like so. And in front of it, add 2 pieces of redstone dust. And a redstone torch right there. Now it gets pretty fun at this point. Now what I want you to do, guys, is add a power rail right there and a regular rail right in front of it. And on top of it, you're going to add a rail detector, because that rail detector is going to activate the redstone dust. Now once you've done that, guys, I want you to go all the way to the front. Let's delete that. Let's go right here to the front part here. Start setting this up. So you're going to add a rail detector right there, a power rail right there, and one on the side, and a regular rail. So power rail, regular rail. Power rail, regular rail. And basically you just repeat the same format all the way to the back end, okay? And over here, make sure that rail is going in that straight direction. And to test this out is just add a redstone dust. That's the best way to really test it out. Now if it doesn't move, that's perfect. That means that it stays like that. It stays off. Now I gave you the directions as far as if you're going north, south, east, or west. So always that you keep that in mind as well when setting this part up, okay? It's very important because you want the rails to naturally turn in that direction. Now, of course, once you add your repeaters like so, make sure they're all on 4 ticks, okay? See? Fantastic, because we kind of need that delay. Like I said, guys, if you want to activate it, you can use a lever to turn it on. But you can see right away, in this case, it actually flips the rails, but we don't want that. So let's put it back to its original status. Now, like I said, guys, all the rails must naturally go towards the front entrance. Now, right there, you're going to add a lever and a lever on top of that, and you're going to keep it on. And right here, you're going to add the redstone torches, because you want to power those power rails. Add a block there, add a half slab in front of it, or behind it, and one right there in front of it to create this kind of pattern. And you're going to extend that right across till you get to the lever. Okay? The cool thing is that lever will not interfere with the minecart. And from this point, you're going to add some power rails, and you're going to create this kind of format, you see? Then you add 2 regular rails and 1 power rail right there. Now right here, parallel to the rail detector, you're going to add about a few half slabs right in front of it. Now you're going to add 1 piece of redstone dust right there. And you're going to move about 1 block forward, delete that. Add a dropper right there, facing towards redstone dust, 1 facing upwards, and 1 on top of it facing the opposite direction. And 1 in front of it, you're going to place a hopper facing downwards. Now the reason we need that is you're going to place a dirt block right underneath that first dropper, you see? And the one behind it right there, you're going to add a half slab with a block in front of it and a comparator going towards that block with a redstone dust on top of it. And you can delete the extra half slabs right underneath. Now what I want you to do is add your flooring right over here. You're going to extend that backwards like so. And add 2 more in the center like that. Fantastic. Okay. Now we're going to start creating the framework. Now take your block of choice, add it right across in a straight line, 3 right there. Then add 2 on each side. And you're going to add 2 more like so. All right there. And let me correct this, delete that. And there it is, guys. We got this pretty much centerized, you see? You want to create this kind of frame. Now you're going to place 1, 2 droppers like so, and on the 3rd dropper, well, you're going to place the redstone lamp right there, and that's going to help you stand on it. On the 3rd dropper, make sure it's facing forward towards that direction. Then you're going to place a hopper line going forward in a straight line like so, going towards the bottom dropper. That's the return line. Okay? All the way to your parallel, to that last comparator. You see? See how they're all going forward towards the bottom one? Then you're going to place a hopper going towards the line itself, you see? So that it can return the key card directly to you once it's being used. Then you're going to place a hopper going towards each comparator. Fantastic, you see how it's going towards the comparator? And right over here, guys, you're going to place one hopper right there, a dropper, see how it's going downwards, a dropper right there, and a hopper towards that. And pretty much you're going to set the hopper line going all towards that back dropper. Now the reason for that is because if anybody puts an item that doesn't belong in there, it's going to bypass everything and just pretty much return back to where it started. Now make sure you place this hopper line to connect with that dropper right there so they can shoot the item into the receiving end. Now at this point, guys, we're going to place some blocks of choice like so. Place it there as well. And you can extend that upwards to your parallel to the top part and add a straight line right across. Now what I like to do, guys, I like to add some stairs right underneath, just to cover that up. I mean, you want to give that nice trimming, and you're going to put a button there. That's very important. This is going to help you send the card up and return the minecart at the same time. So it actually works as two different functions. Now at this point, guys, you can really hook up your front entrance and just make it your own style. Okay, so make sure to decorate it and just make that look really nice. Now before you do that, guys, I'm going to show you how to program these things so you can have specific items in a certain way. Now I personally like to get a bunch of dirt and rename the dirt. Now once you rename it, it doesn't become dirt anymore. It becomes something else. For whatever reason, Minecraft doesn't recognize that as dirt, and it's a great way to keep a nice security profile. Now guys, you could use any item you want. You don't have to rename it, but if you want to, you could just take whatever item you want, and this is going to be your key card. Okay, you want to take a stack of 20 though. Okay, at least a stack of 20 or more. Now I'm going to name this Bob, but guys, you could use numbers, signs, symbols. I mean, anything you want. You could call it anything you want. I mean, sky's the limit, guys. You can have a 20-digit number. Or you could just use the item itself. Now, once you go into that hopper facing the comparator, you're going to place one item in the last 4 slots. See? In this case, I'm using dirt. Now, I'm going to take 20 items and put it right inside. And that's going to send one key card to that bottom dropper. And you're going to do that to each one. Now, this time, we're going to use some gold. And we're going to use, like I said, iron ingots. And it's pretty much, like I said, guys, your own personal style to what you want. Now, once you've done that, guys, make sure not to forget this, to put your Minecart Chest. Otherwise, you're not going to get nothing back. Now, this is very important, guys. You're going to add some half slabs right over here. One too many. And we're going to make a miniature item elevator. So you're going to place a comparator there. Going to add some redstone dust right there. A block behind it. Then I'm going to add a block in front of that comparator. You can delete that. You don't need that one in the center. Add some redstone dust there. A repeater right there going towards that block. A block behind it. And of course, delete the extra half slabs underneath. Now, once you hooked it up, the design is complete. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you could please leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you.